Thank God 2024 is over. It's gone. It's in the past. As I used to say, out of here, baby. So that means this is your first RV industry update of 2025. Welcome to HB RV Lifestyle. They call me the Honey Badger because I give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business. And today we're going to cover the used RV market first. Then we're going to cover RV financing and loans because there's a lot of important information that you're going to want to know going into 2025 and into 2026. Number 3, we're going to talk about those little propaganda people that want to put like a number on an estimate of RV shipments and some other little things. Basically stuff the RV manufacturers and a lot of RV dealerships hate when I talk about. They absolutely hate me when I talk about this stuff, but it's got to be done. Number 4, we're going to talk about RV parts. We've been talking about it a lot, but there's probably going to be a shortage coming up pretty soon. And number 5, we're going to go over one more time about the motorhome sales ban that doesn't exist. All right, let's get started. Yes, the used RV market, the mess of a roller coaster that we've been on the last couple of years. But in 2024, we saw a decline in used RV prices and used RV values. In March of 2024, we saw a big whack over the head with RV values and RV pricing. And in September, we got kind of a tap on the head. But outside of that, it's been a steady decline. By the way, if you enjoyed this transparency, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Now, what's interesting is it's also bled over into the RV loan and RV financing segment, which we'll cover here in just a little bit. But what's really gotten interesting so far, especially the last 3 months, is dealerships, wait for the truck, is RV dealerships have started to look at segments and started being a little more careful about what they take in for trade, what they resell, and how much they're giving folks. Now, what does that mean? Well, I'll give you an example. We're going to use Grand Design fifth wheels, the frame failure / frame flex thing that's been going on for a while, all the allegations, etc. Well, that's kind of bled into how RV dealerships think when they say, okay, I got a guy that's going to trade in a Solitude fifth wheel, 2020, 2019. Is it worth it to me to take it in trade and resell it with the possibility of big liability? Most RV dealerships and most RV dealership owners are going to say, no, I'd rather not have the liability, hit it as hard as they can, what they think they can get at auction, and then if they make the deal, great. If they don't, no big deal. And that's kind of how they feel about some products. Now, I'm using Grand Design as an example because there's a lot of dealerships that have gone public on podcasts, on YouTube videos, etc., that have expressed that same thing, whether it's a momentum, whether it's a reflection. And we're mainly talking about the fifth wheels because obviously the travel trailers are not having the frame problems, allegedly. Now, what does that mean for every other brand? What does it mean for Lance trailers, Airstreams? Well, if you go back to 2018, 2019, I was paying as a dealer $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 over wholesale book to get a really good piece in to resell. If I got a really nice Airstream, if I got a really nice Lance. Unfortunately, those days are done. Paying $3,000 over wholesale book, paying wholesale book, those days are over. Dealerships are being more cautious and buying used products back of wholesale book. And the reason why is because we're still in a little bit of an economic mess as that truck passes by. So until this economic mess gets sorted out over the next 12 to 16 months, it's going to be hard for a dealership to want to overpay for somebody's trade, even if it's absolutely perfect. Now, what's that do for the private party market? Well, it kind of puts people that are buyers in a little bit of a bind. So RV dealerships are going to be more willing to get rid of a product that's used than a private party seller, because obviously in this market, in this economy, a private party seller is going to be less willing to negotiate, especially when they find out what a dealer is going to pay for it. Because you got to think about this. A lot of folks will call a dealer and go, how much would you pay for my trailer? They want to get a gauge. What they really want to do is be pissed off and mad because they know the dealer is going to hit them hard. And then they like, no. My motorhome's not worth $5,000. I know it's 30 years old, but it's not worth $5,000. It's worth $45,000. And that's the kind of thing that's going to happen over the course of 2025. Because of that, I think actually the sale of new travel trailers is going to spike this year. And I'll explain why later in this video. Yes, my favorite subject, RV loans and RV interest rates. I love updating you guys on this stuff. Now, remember what I said last year if you're a fan of the channel. I said that RV interest rates were not going to go down in 2024, and I was a little bit wrong. They went down very slightly, like 1/4 of a point. Now, what's interesting is credit union interest rates went up. Bank interest rates went down a little bit. For the most part, though, it's flatlined, okay? You're still, if you have good credit, you're still in the 8 to 10% range on an interest rate. When you are fair credit, you're still in the 11 to 14% range. This is still a reality that we're going to deal with all of 2025 into the majority of 2026. And as Jerome Powell said, we probably won't see that big dip in interest rates till around 2027. Now, this is actually a good thing for you, the consumer, because even though prices and profit margins at RV dealerships will go up once it hits mid-February into end of February, hint, hint, trying to tell you folks, go shopping now, you're still not going to be at the profit margin level that the RV dealerships want to be at. And the reason why is because there's still a balancing act. They still have to be able to get your payment affordable. Otherwise, you're not going to buy it, right? So one of the case of realities is that you're still going to get a decent price because interest rates are high. When interest rates go down, when they go down significantly, RV dealership profit margins are going to go right through the roof. Now, some of you folks are okay with that. I would say a lot of you are okay with that. A lot of you would rather pay the lower interest rate and pay more for the RV. Understandable. I get it and I understand it. They're how do I put this? You're either a price buyer or you're an interest rate buyer. You're not both. You can try to be both, but you'll never buy anything, right? So that's kind of the reality we sit in when it comes to interest rates. Some RV manufacturers and some RV dealerships across the United States and Canada really don't want me to spill this tea. Why? Couldn't tell you. But I can tell you that the juice is worth the squeeze. And the first juice, the first set of tea, is there are RV propagandists out there, mostly in the RV media or the RV mainstream media, that are making predictions. They call them conservative predictions that there's going to be growth in the shipments of new RVs in 2025. Well, I can tell you for a fact that is propaganda. There is no way in Sam Blue you know what that there will be more RVs shipped from the factory to dealerships in 2025 compared to 2024. Why? Well, it's a double-edged sword. Now, I believe that the new RV market will surge as far as what I call retail registrations, meaning that I believe that there will be a lot more new travel trailers, new toy haulers, and new fifth wheels sold in 2025 than in 2024. But see, there are RV dealerships out there that still have a really good amount of inventory in stock. Some are way overstocked, some are balanced, some are low on inventory. But for the most part, you're going to see less shipments go from the factory to the actual dealerships. And that's not a good thing, not because of an economy, but from a quality standpoint. Now, I've talked about this a lot on the podcast in depth. I'm going to talk about it on the podcast more in depth next week, because a lot of folks don't understand. When you build less, the quality goes down. And I know that doesn't make sense to folks, but it would take me 40 minutes on this video to explain it to you. So if you want, check out the podcast, and I'm going to go over that on Monday morning coming up here. I believe it's Monday morning. So today's the 2nd, Friday's the 3rd, 4th. So the 6th of January, 8 a.m. Pacific time. It'll also rerun as well on YouTube and on Spotify, etc. Okay. The second thing they really don't want me to spill the tea on is I found out, and this was really shocking to me, that there are corporate RV dealership YouTubers. Let me say that again, because I know there's a helicopter in the background. There are corporate RV dealership YouTubers that are paid by the manufacturer to go to the factory and do walkthrough tours and post them on YouTube. Can you believe that? I was sitting there like, whoa, are you kidding me? No wonder I'm not invited to the factory, because I'm not going to sit there and not talk crap. If something's wrong and something's not right, I'm going to talk about it. Apparently, some of these corporate RV dealership YouTubers get paid some pretty good money to go down to the factory and film and propaganda themselves to death about how great everything is and how sunshine and rainbows and everything's wonderful. And I was like, what? And the last spill of tea is, unfortunately, and I think the writing's been on the wall for a while, Lazy Days RV is going bye-bye. It's not going to be pretty. It's very ugly. It's not cool. But slowly but surely, they're selling off their dealerships and they're liquidating their stuff. And it's sad, because it's upsetting to me when things go that bad where you didn't find somebody that could help you turn it around. You know, so it's a little sad on that respect. Moving on. Well, a part shortage is almost going to be a reality. And unfortunately, there's just not enough trade partners. Unfortunately, I believe we're going to have a part shortage coming up very soon. Biggest reason why is because, according to folks I talk to, there's still a lot of trade disputes amongst a lot of countries in Asia, the Middle East, Africa, etc., over waterway access, over rights to go through certain parts of the ocean, over rights over a lot of things. And apparently it's not getting settled any faster. So once again, if you're a snowbird, be patient. If you didn't go get your rig fixed when I told you to back in October, November, etc., you're going to have to be patient if your water heater goes out. If something goes wrong in your coach where you need a part, patience is going to have to be a virtue. This is not stuff that's all manufactured in the United States of America. Even though I know a lot of you wish it was, it's just a stone cold reality. Now, that doesn't mean that the parts cost is going to go through the roof, because it's still being manufactured and the parts will still get here. It's just going to take longer to get here because of all the silliness, and it's not silliness, but I call it silliness, with all the trade disputes going on all across the world. And then you also have to think, what about all the drama that Trump has stirred up over the Panama Canal, right? So there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes. It's not going to cause a part shortage as far as they're not making parts, but it's going to cause a part shortage as in, oops, yeah, that's not going to get here for like 3 months because it's still on a ship. Oh boy, let's talk about the motorhome sales ban one last time. There is no such thing as a motorhome sales ban in California, New York, New Jersey, Oregon, Massachusetts, etc. There is not one state that has banned the sale of motorhomes at all. There are too many YouTubers out there that are taking advantage of the views and the clicks and etc. I understand. I got made fun of it on Facebook. You could keep making fun of me on Facebook, but here's the reality. The manufacturers of the chassis are protesting California's garbage law that has spread to other places. The Supreme Court is not going to take up the court case on this. They're not going to reverse it, because even with conservative justices on the Supreme Court, they look at it as California leads the way in clean air quality. We're not going to stop them. And also, by the way, there is no verbiage anywhere, as Jericho would say, Chris Jericho would say, anywhere in the verbiage of the California law that says that motorhomes and combustion engines cannot be built or sold in California. Nowhere in the law does it say that. Period. Now, it's garbage what they're making people go through to do it. It's garbage what they're making the entire process about. And it's garbage the way they're treating these manufacturers of not only motorhomes, but also trucks, semi-trucks, etc. So I'm on the side of the manufacturers. I really am. But stop lying about it being a motorhome sales ban. There's no such thing. And I have proven it and debunked it. And by the way, I did a poll. Across every platform. Over 30,000 people respond to the poll. 87.4% of the folks that respond to the poll said either they believe that the YouTubers are lying and that it's all BS, or number two, that's very complicated. Which I believe that probably makes more sense, is it's really complicated. So do me a favor, all you RV YouTubers out there, do me a favor. Stop telling the world that there's a motorhome sales ban. Stop jumping on a bandwagon that doesn't exist. And until next time, oh, by the way, did you guys know that I actually did a video on the propane electric refrigerator and the death of it? Just click right there and you'll get it.